Let's go to Chris in Fargo, North Dakota. What's up, brother Chris?
Not much. How are you doing, Dr. John?
I'm all right, my man. How are we doing this morning?
Sorry.
Oh, you're good, man.
Together.
You're good. I got nothing but time, my man.
Okay.
What's up? Actually, do this for me. Take as deep a breath as you can and hold it. Now let it out.
Okay.
And those shoulders, your shoulders are up around your ear. Drop them as low as you can, okay?
Okay.
Cool. And one more thing. Take your hands and squeeze them together as tight as you can and count backwards. Squeeze them as tight as you can. 5, 4, 3, 2. All right, what's up, man?
I lost my son about a month and a half ago.
What was his name?
I'm a Jesse.
How old was he?
12.
Oh my gosh.
And I'm a volunteer firefighter. And I responded to the scene.
God, no. Really? Dude, I'm so sorry. I'm sorry across the board. I'm sorry 1,000 different ways, man. I have a 12-year-old little boy, and my guts just left my body as you said that. I'm sorry, man. So I'm guessing if you responded, then was it an emergency? Was it an accident? What happened?
He was at the neighbor's house, and a friend of the neighbor was taking him to pick up his daughter, and I wasn't there. My wife was there, and she didn't know he had been drinking that much, and they were on a side-by-side ATV, and they crashed.
Oh, my gosh. Chris, I'm so sorry, man. Tell me about Jesse. Tall kid, short kid, fast?
Short kid.
Pudgy kid? Tell me about him.
No, skinny. He was a skinny little guy, one of the smallest kids in his class.
Yeah. Funny kid, loud, annoying, silly.
Funny.
Tell me about him.
He was funny to the point where he thought he was funnier than he actually was. Thought he was.
Awesome.
He got along with all the adults. Everybody loved him.
Yeah.
He would talk about things that, like science stuff, to the adults, and they just be blown away by him.
Oh, he's brilliant, huh?
Yes, very smart.
What did he love? What did he love?
He loved taking things apart. It drove me nuts. But
what's the worst thing? What's the worst thing he ever took apart?
We just buy him. We'd buy him something, and then within 3 days he would take it apart.
Oh, he was that kid. Yeah.
Yes.
You get him like a VCR or something. He takes it, not VCR because it's not the 20th century, but yeah, get him an Xbox instead of playing it. He takes it apart, see how it works. Wow.
Yep, exactly.
So you lost your son. You lost your life as you know it. Everything's different now.
Yeah.
And my son lost a light in his life because the lights went out, didn't it? Like I'm saying, like as another kid who's 12, they were going to grow up and create the new world together. And a light went out, right?
Yep.
So all the way across the country in Nashville, Tennessee, I want you to know my heart's broken with you. And that doesn't bring your kid back, and that doesn't make you hurt less, but I want you to know you're not heartbroken alone. I'm so sorry, man. And I'm sorry that you responded to that. I'm sorry that shouldn't have happened. Procedurally, that shouldn't have happened. That's probably just the kind of guy you are, though, is you show up. Even when they tell you don't come, you show up. And
Well, I didn't know what was going on.
oh, wow. Okay. Didn't even know. Man.
I was home for the call, and when we carry a pager, and when the call comes out, we just go to the station.
Yeah.
And I had an idea. It came out as a personal injury accident.
Oh, it didn't come out as a 1087?
No, we don't use 10 codes.
Oh, you don't? Okay.
Here. And so I just went to the station. I jumped on the front right seat, went to the call. I had an idea where it was, and it didn't make sense. I'm like, that's a side road. How is there an accident there? And we turned down the street. It was about 3 blocks away from my house. And the driver said, wasn't that your wife? And I said, I didn't see her. And we get closer to the scene, and I recognized 2 of the people there. And that's when I started to panic a little bit, because I knew what was going on. I knew he was over at the neighbor's house, and there's my neighbor and one of his friends. They heard the sirens. They ran up there. So when I pull up, I see those 2. I jump out, and I just kind of forgot everything that I was supposed to do. And one of the guys grabbed me, and before I could get close to the scene, and just pulled me to the back of the truck and sat me down. And then that's when the sheriff came over and told me what happened.
Whoever that partner was of yours did a heroic thing, and I'm glad they did that.
He's amazing.
Yeah, that's an amazing man right there. Month and a half ago, man.
Yeah.
So how can I help you, man? I want to hug you. You're not here. You want to hug you. I'm trying to wiping tears of my own away here on the show, and that doesn't happen for me. Man, I've shown up to scenes. I know that call when your heart starts beating faster because you think something's wrong, and then all of a sudden you know something's wrong.
Yep.
I've had to be that guy that pulled the parent back and said, you don't need that in your head. And I've had, man, all that, the whole thing. Oh, geez, man.
Even though I wasn't I didn't see him.
It doesn't matter. I know.
I still get flashes of what happened.
I know. Can I tell you something that's going to sound crazy?
Sure.
He's not hurting right now. So much of our head wants to go back to that moment. He's not hurting right now. He's at peace right now. Okay? And if there's no other peace in your heart right now, he's not scared anymore. He's not hurting anymore. He's still.
That's another.
Okay?
Sorry. That's another thing that he was. So I get the call, and I go up to my truck, and I go up to the next street, and I either take a right to go to the fire station, or I go straight, and I just respond to the scene, and I listen to my procedures, and I took that right. I feel like I failed them twice because as a father, because I let him be with that guy, and I feel like I failed him as a firefighter because I didn't go straight and just be with him until he passed away.
Yeah. And if you've ever listened to heard a word come out of my mouth, I'll tell you your feelings are real and they're very, very important. And they serve a purpose. And our feelings lie to us. The very first way you explained what happened, the words out of your mouth were, I wasn't there. And I should have stopped you then, and I didn't. There's no possible way that you would think in your neighborhood that a friend of yours would let your kid get behind the wheel of an ATV with a drunk driver. Any more likelihood that it would be your fault if your kid got struck by lightning walking down the street. So I get the impulse to feel like I'm dad. I have one job, and that's to keep my kid safe, and I failed it. I get that impulse. I have that same exact impulse. But you're going to have to open your hands on that one because that's not on you. Okay? It's on the heart of a guy who was intoxicated and got behind the wheel of a vehicle and invited a child along with him. The other thing is I get the impulse as a first responder. But that moment of failure, that's not for him. You feel like you failed yourself.
Yeah.
And you didn't. And I also know I can tell you that over and over and over, and your body's going to respond as your body's going to respond, okay? And it's going to take seasons for this to pass. Not to pass, the whole thing won't pass. You'll remember this for the rest of your life. It's now a part of you. I'm saying you will come to peace with the fault part of this. This is my fault. This is not my fault. Okay? You're a damn good firefighter. You signed up. You volunteered, for crying out loud. You don't even get paid for this. You do this because this is who you are. Your community's better because you do this. And the fantasy that if I had just gone straight, I would have had one more second. I get that. And it's not true. Because that fantasy turns into, and I probably would have done the one thing that, fill in the blank, right?
Mm-hmm.
So how can I help you now? My guess is you're in the black hole, man. The food tastes different when you even bother to eat. Everything's off.
Yeah, it's slowly getting better. I'm back to my full-time job now.
But you're just going through the motions, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's completely 100% right. Okay?
And I'm king of distractions now. Whatever I can find to distract myself.
That's fine.
Part of it, I don't know what to expect. I don't know. I hate feeling this way, but I also don't want to give it up.
I know. Because now your son's no longer in your arms and he's transferred to your pain. And you think if you stop hurting, or if you smile a little bit, or if you have some joy, that he's going to go.
Yep.
Or that somehow sharing a meal with your wife and y'all just exhaling for the first time in a month and a half is somehow dishonoring to him, and it's not. Life won't go on. Life is different now. Things won't get back to the way they were. Things are different now. There will be a creation of a new, and it will take a while. And so anybody telling you to rush this process, you need to cut them out of your life. Okay?
Yeah.
You lost your heartbeat. Right?
Yep. One of them, I have another son.
Sir?
I lost one of my heartbeats. I have another son.
There you go.
I keep seeing.
And you're going to walk past that bedroom and it's going to be empty and your whole body's going to fall apart. And you're going to pull up to a pizza place and you're going to say table for 4. It's just going to pop out of your mouth and then you're going to break down crying in a way that you thought you'd cried all the tears you got, and then nope, I got more.
No.
Right? Or someone's going to be trying to be kind, and they're going to say something that in your situation is insensitive, even though they're being lovely. Like, how many kids you got? And your first impulse is going to be 2, and you're going to say 1. You're going to say, well, I mean, and then the whole thing.
Yeah.
Right?
Happened yesterday
Yeah.
with my other son. I don't even know what to expect anymore, or emotionally.
Okay, here's what I'm going to do. You're not going to remember a lot of this. I'm going to give you 4 or 5 things, okay? And we will cut this out, and we'll send it to you before it's even edited and all that kind of, glossed over and mastered or whatever they do to it to make it pretty, just so you have these things now. You don't have to wait another month for it to come out, okay?
Okay.
Here's thing number 1. You cannot do this by yourself. I don't care how tough you are. I don't care how, Fargo you are. I don't care how fireman you are. You got to have other people. You got to have other people that you say, I'm not doing okay today. Today's a black hole day. And they're not going to try to fix you. They're going to hug you. They're going to go get coffee. They're going to show up with a donut, or they're going to show up with some dinner. And they're not going to say much. They're just going to sit on your porch with you. Do you have that?
Yes, I have.
Okay.
Yes.
Your only job is to not isolate. Let them do the rest. Okay?
Okay.
You might tell them, here's what I need. If I call you, you 5 guys, if I call you, here's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for you just to say that sucks. I'm heartbroken. I'm looking for you to send me a picture of my son that you might have on your phone. I'm looking for you just to come over and with some tacos. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
That's number 1. Number 2, grief is like a fingerprint. It's different for every single person. And yours is going to be different than your wives. And this is why many, many couples who experience what you've experienced don't make it. Because they start holding each other to impossible standards, and they're so mad and so angry and so frustrated and so heartbroken that they just lash out at the closest person to them that happens to be their wife or their husband. Or they say things like, I can't believe you're already back at work. How can you even breathe? Or I can't believe you went to the gym. I can't even get out of bed. And so I want you and your wife to commit to having regular, probably every other day, check-ins with one another. And a whole lot of grace. Because you're going to have good days and bad days on different days. And one of you is going to have a bad day, and the other person's going to be having a good day. And the person who's having a bad day has to have the courage and the bravery to say, go have your good day. Because bringing somebody from their good day down to your bad day doesn't make your bad day better. Okay? But you and your wife are going to have to create a new language that you did not have before. Okay?
Yep.
And you're going to have to decide, we need to learn Spanish because we got to learn a different way to talk because we can't talk English anymore in this house. That's the way you got to look at it. Okay?
Okay.
You have to remember to do the basic life things like eat and move and turn your screens off. Okay?
Yep.
And you're going to have to learn, this is the hard one, you're going to have to sleep. And if you've ever listened to this show, you know how against sleep meds I am. I'm okay in a season. Okay?
Yeah,
or
I'm
to get
trying to get off the doctor prescribed me something. I'm trying to get off of that and just go to melatonin right now.
Okay. I've never talked about this publicly, but we're in it now. I will send you personally I've got a substantial discount code with the only supplement company that I use. They're called Thorne, and they are pharmaceutical grade. They're the best of the best of the best. And I've got a significant discount code that I'll send you, and I'll send you the personal sleep stuff that I use from them. Okay? They're just a supplement. It's not a narcotic or anything like that. It's what I use. And everybody's got a little bit of a tinkering difference, whether it's Farm GABA 250 or whether it's ISO or whatever the thing is, right? But getting some supplement help for sleep is wise right now. Okay? having some sort of, I'm going for a walk, having some sort of, I'm going to go exercise, having some sort of something. And you may go to the gym and then just turn around and go home because it's not happening that day. That's okay. All right?
Mm-hmm.
Here's the other one. Do not overcompensate with your child, with your other son. Okay? Your other son's going to have his own unique grief. The last thing we want to do is have him feel like he's responsible for making sure mom and dad's okay.
Yeah.
He gets to be
made a few comments.
He gets to be a little boy.
Yeah.
Right? And he's also going to say things like, I feel like all you talk about is Jesse. That's fine. How old is he?
He's 15. He was older.
Exactly. He's 15. Right? There's a reason we don't let him drive yet. So he's going to have his comments, and that's all fine and good. His life, everything about his life is different now. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Here's the last one, and this one's hard. This one's real hard. How long have you been doing volunteer fire department stuff?
15 years, though.
Okay. So I'm talking to somebody who's responded and seen their fair share of stuff, right?
I've been pretty fortunate, but yeah.
Okay.
I've been to a couple calls. Yeah.
I have too. And here's what I can't do. Like when I call it the lightning bolt. When the lightning bolt pops into my head out of nowhere of some guy who shot and killed himself and this is disaster. Or some car wreck scene that I showed up to, some sort of something, the lightning bolt pops into my head. And the moment that lightning bolt pops into my head with that picture or that thought, I have a choice. Am I going to meditate on that picture and go down that rabbit hole and my heart rate will get up and my body will flood itself with cortisol and adrenaline just like I was back on that scene in real time? And I'll start thinking about it and I'll think about what I said and what I could have said and what I should have said. And I can't believe I did this. And then that one guy that took a swing at me because I was telling him that his wife had, like all those things. I can do that. And when I do that, I'm choosing two things: to be more miserable and to dishonor the person who passed away. Here's the other thing I can do. When that lightning bolt pops into my head, which I cannot control, it just does. I don't understand it. It happens in the shower. It happens at church. It happens all kind of random places that you'll just think of a thing.
Mm-hmm.
I can hold my breath for 2 to 4 seconds. I can exhale. And I can intentionally put another picture in my head. In your case, one of walking into a room and seeing the brand new Xbox you just bought, Jesse, all taken apart. Or the time he made y'all laugh at dinner and you were laughing so hard you were crying. Or a moment like I start crying. Like a moment I had a night ago when my 12-year-old walked through the room and said something and walked into the other room. And I thought to myself, I didn't know I could love like that. You get to replace that scene. You get to replace that little picture you have in your head of just his shoe, of all the people crowding around, all of the lights. You get to replace those pictures. Him in the casket. You get to replace all those pictures with something beautiful, with something of a memory of a memory of joy. And here's what will happen. Those flashes, those lightning bolts, that's your brain trying to remind you that there's scary crap out there. You don't need that reminder. It's just your brain trying to take care of you, okay?
Okay.
What we're going to do over time is we're going to shift our default settings so that when we think of Jesse, we smile first. We don't instantly get transported back to the worst possible moment of our entire lives.
Okay. I can do that.
But listen, it's a practice. You're going to practice. And you're going to find yourself 15 minutes into a thought exercise, and you're going to have to call yourself out on it. I will yell in my home, "No, stop." I will do all sorts of wild things to stop those tracks as they get going. And I've never lived what you've lived through. The pull will be magnetic. And here's one more final thing. Your son is not in your pain. Okay? He's in your heart. He's in your hearts. He's in those kids in the class that he was friends with. He was in the bodies and minds and spirits of those he made laugh like crazy. He's there, man. He's not in your home where he should be, and he's not in his bed where he should be. But he's not hurting anymore either. Do you believe me?
Yeah.
Okay. Anytime you ask yourself, what should I do now? Just be right where you're at.
Okay.
There's not a playbook moving forward, man, other than take care of yourself. Be with people. Love your wife. Love your other son. Okay?
All right. Thank you.
There will come a season when you make meaning of this. Okay? There'll come a season when you're, now what? I'm going to start speaking to high school kids about drunk driving. I'm going to start a ministry at my church, showing up when people lose a young one. I'm going to, right? That season will come. That season's not today.
Okay.
It's not, I got to go do a thing. No, you don't. Your body's bleeding from the inside out, and you got to take a season to heal. Going through the motions is right. Your family still got to eat, right? You still got to go to work. You got to go through the motions. You got to be busy. Distractions, fine. All those things are fine. Until you start distracting with a recliner and 24/7 Netflix and alcohol, and right, then distractions become unsafe. But right now, dude, you are in survival mode, and that's fine. And anybody who tells you otherwise, they probably lose their voice in your life for a while.
Yeah.
Is that cool?
Yeah.
Now listen to me carefully before I let you go. You're a great dad. You're a great neighbor. And you're a great firefighter. And you lost your son, and I'm sorry.
Thank you.
I love you, Chris, and anything we can do to help you along the way, let me know, okay?
Right.
And when the show's over, before I head out of here, I'll send you the link to the stuff, okay?
Okay. Sounds good. Thank you.
All right, my brother. Thank you for being brave and for sharing your story with us. And just know there's millions of us that are heartbroken with you.
All right.
Thank you so much, my man. Thank you.